We're talking with Dr. Christine Moutier, and there's been a show that was out, and it was a series called 13 Reasons Why. Very powerful series on the subject, and many people had their opinions about this. What I didn't know is how close of a hand you had in editing this series recently. Would you tell me about why you wanted to be involved with this and why it's so important?
Sure. Well, our organization, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, has been fortunate to partner with some major media groups, including Netflix. And some of the work that we've been doing with Netflix has involved the show 13 Reasons Why. And, I think what has happened in the course of the couple of years, season 3 only recently launched for 13 Reasons Why, is that Netflix and the show producers have really been listening and learning to their viewers and to the research that came out. And that led to some positive steps on their part. First of all, to produce a discussion guide and a really rich resource guide on 13reasonswhy.info that we at AFSP helped them to build. And additionally, they decided to edit out that graphic suicide scene more recently from season 1. And equally important are the themes of mental health and connecting to therapy, how you can talk to each other as young people, as well as, now that it's back to school time, it's really important for parents and everyone to realize that this is a time to remind our kids that there are trustworthy adults that they can go to if they're facing any kind of problem or struggle at all.
And another thing that I've noticed as a parent, of course, is that, and I know there's a lot of parents of younger kids, and the idea that technology is pretty much, they're born with it. There are children that have been born with social media, and there's this whole I think mentality that seems to be going on when it comes to social media. And I've heard even in some countries, Instagram has decided, you know what, we're going to hide the likes so that this whole popularity contest sort of is diminished a bit because they feel like maybe that could be contributing to cyberbullying. And so I'm wondering, this idea of a parent and their young kids, social media technology, what are your impressions about all of these movements going on in the hopes of helping people deal with, any mental health issues?
Thanks for raising this. It's really an incredible time where we're learning so much about what it means to live out this newfound sort of value on mental health, and how certain things like the likes and some types of social media utilization have really led to worsening in mental health. And young people, advocates who are young people, have learned that for themselves there are times when they should unplug and take a break for the sake of their mental health. Those are really proactive strategies. I know also that Instagram has a real interest in promoting a culture around authenticity that really flies in the face of the just, only posting curated images of perfection, which just leads to a totally distorted view of what other people's lives are like when you, in fact, are having ups and downs and, the usual state of good days and bad days. Or if you have anxiety or depression, that it can really feel even worse and feel like you're the only one. And of course, that's not true. So there's a lot of movement and progress being made to try to address some of those unintended consequences that are really serving to perpetuate stigma instead of allowing people to connect to the positive. And in fact, there are so many positive influencers and social media campaigns out there that promote the topic of mental health, taking care of our mental health, sharing more deeply with one another, and just being more proactive about things that way.
Since this is such a big issue, of course, suicide, mental health awareness, I love the fact that finally on a governmental level, I'm hearing rumblings that there will be a 3-digit emergency line, very similar to when we just have any kind of emergency. And from what I understand, it's going to be called 988, where that's all you have to dial if, in fact, you have a situation going on like this. Can you tell us more about that? Because if it's true, I am very heartened by this.
Yes, there is progress being made. Everyone hopefully knows that the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline can be reached at 1-800-273-TALK. And now there is movement underway to try to get a 3-digit number for that suicide prevention lifeline in a way to to normalize help seeking when it comes to our mental health, just like we have 911 and other, 3-digit numbers that everybody knows, so that it's kind of part of the culture. So there are so many advocacy efforts underway that are like that again, I would put into the category of how we're learning about what needs to change in our world now that we're taking the stigma out of mental health and help seeking.
Dr. Moutier, I want to just thank you from the bottom of my heart, really, for everything that you've done about this issue and this movement, as well as the time you spent with us today. I really, really do appreciate it.
Check out I'mListening.org for more information. Take a minute, save a life.